Good evening. Welcome to Platform Media International. I'm Joe Ehizode. Tonight, the Super Eagles is here to get a substantive coach after many weeks of jostling and lobbying. And I can tell you this, when there's an eerie silence on the part of NFF, Nigerian Football Federation, it shows that there's an unpopular decision coming to the fore of the appointment of the Super Eagles coach. Let me welcome my friend, Opponent. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the studio, Pastor. Opponent, this has been the appointment of the Super Eagles coach lingers after many weeks and turning to months. There's no decision yet. And all we hear are the contenders, George Finidi, Amunike, Konsasao, and team from Nigerian born American or Nigerian American who is also in contention. But nothing has been heard about the new Super Eagles coach. Opponent, is that not worrisome?
Well, thank you for having me. It's really worrisome. Now, let me put it this way.
Why is it worrisome?
I'll put it this way. The previous coach, the coach I just left,
Pasero.
you had somebody assisting for 2 years. That means you want continuity. Nations Cup wasn't a failure. Playing the finals, so still a success. 2 years passed, got a silver from Nations Cup, had somebody on the study, Pasero. After the Nations Cup, you start saying you're looking for a coach. Where is the continuity?
For those who read the Bible, they say faith without action is dead. At this point, I don't even care who's going to be the Super Eagles coach. That's beyond you and I. We have spoken, we have protested, we have supported. It's not yielding any result. But what we're asking now, even if they're going to make a mistake, let them make it and let us know the result. That's what we're asking. But there's nothing on the platform. The only significant thing that came out of the Nigerian Football Federation platform is that they appointed Manu Gaba as the coach of the under-17. No one for the Super Eagles, the Flying Eagles, the Olympic Dream Team, as it's called, no coach in those category of the national team. And the World Cup is coming in. The qualifier is coming in about a month or so, and we have South Africa in front of us, and that's scary.
Yeah, it's scary and it's sketchy. Because if at this point we're talking about we are still jostling for coaches, looking for coaches, then we lack the managerial skills to run our football. Remember when South Africa hosted the World Cup and Nigerian football officials were asking the South Africans, how did you people do it? What did they tell them? You help us set up our football. How can we tell the master how we got the World Cup? We lack managerial skills. That's the biggest problem we have here. You finish Nations Cup. If you don't want to give the assistant whom you say was understudying the coach that was there, you should have known 2 or 3 coaches you want to interview for the job.
Maybe when we sound like a broken chord now, we said this in the past, and maybe for purpose of repetition so that people will understand where we stand. We have the technical committee, we have a technical director from name of Austin McGuavoin, who had a stint with the Super Eagles. Ideally, just like Sunday Olise, who was also a coach of the Super Eagles, said, ideally, these 2 years, when you know you have a contract with the coach that will expire after the Nations Cup, ideally, the technical committee or technical director, assisted by the technical director, is supposed to have identified a sound coach for the Super Eagles, Super Eagles is a brand, just like you used to say. But for you to have wasted this time looking for a coach, people submitted the application. At one point, they have 500 applicants. It's not encouraging for people who are watching. I must commend Nigerians, especially written people of the print press, who had been very, very vocal in pressurizing the Nigerian Football Federation in getting a coach. People have suggested, and some of us here too, we also supported a Nigerian coach, which some of people criticize us for. But take an action. That's why I said faith without action is dead. Take an action and let us, and you prepare people to what I call support the action you took. That's the way it is done. But right now, the Nigerian football is in limbo. It's in limbo because if your brand, Super Eagles, has no leadership, the leadership is not in place, that means it's in limbo.
Do you know why the Super Eagles, the football is where it is right now regarding the coach of the national team? Not really that they wanted to look for a coach. They have a plan in mind, to pass the torch to Finidi. But within the circle there is something going on within the circle there.
That's why I said the silence is scary.
Because, you see, they are lost right now. Because there's no reason for them to say they're looking for a coach. They knew they would have they want to give that to Finidi after Casero leaves. But somewhere in between, something came up in the committee. That's why it's serious where we are today. It's not because we don't know a coach we want to hire, but it's because it's at a dying minute. There are some scrupulous things going on there.
So you mean they will make a decision at the dying minute and then Nigerians have no reason to protest or any reason?
You have somebody understudying somebody. Say, okay, look, this guy Pasero, World Play Nations Cup, get it 2 years.
But if they don't want him, make a decision.
No, let me put it this way. Let me say it as it is. You have somebody assisting the coach that was there. Say, okay, understudy this guy. When the tournament is done, maybe, I don't know what was on paper, based on the success or failure of the team, this guy is going to take over. It was a successful tournament, which means the guy that was understudying the coach here should have taken over. It was a successful tournament. So what is the reason of not giving the guy the job? If there's no double deal,
at this point, I don't really care who they appoint.
Well, I'm not saying
it's on record how we fought for a Nigerian coach, but if they are not going to go by that, make a decision. The lack of decision shows that something on that ground is going on that may not be popular, or we're not. Anyway, it's not a popularity contest. That is not right, and that's why they are they are delaying. There's so much silence, which of course we call the airy silence. And at the dying minute, 11th hour, they make an announcement, and then everybody will go scamper in different directions.
I agree with you in what they're saying about the airy silence. Yeah, I agree with you. But the problem I'm having is they know who they want to take over from Acero. But it's because of the scrupulous things going on there that you see the NFF where they are.
When you say unscrupulous,
there are certain. Okay, I'll put it this way: this problem is not coming from the NFF itself; it's coming from the technical committee. That's where the problem is.
Do you think the minister does not have a hand in this? Minister of Sports?
Not necessarily.
Come on now, he's the head.
No.
They have a way of controlling sports.
No. You don't interfere in football.
That is what it says, but indirectly we know they control football.
No, they don't. Because if they go in and there's a complaint, then there's been problem. They don't. The problem right now.
Are you aware, opponent? Are you aware that the minister offered Pasero that increase in salary just to wait back? If you are saying don't interfere in football, does he even have the right to decide who has to be the coach? Are you aware before Pasero finally rejected the Super Eagles or finally said he's leaving? I can't say reject. Are you aware that he has offered Pasero what do you call improvement in salary?
Okay. And let's put it in Africa or in Nigeria. Normally, when they go for a tournament and they win, there are incentives, gifts from all over, all corners. So I don't think that is anything different from what is done anywhere.
No,
in
apart from incentive that they gave them when they
no,
came
I'm
second.
talking about not people even in sports, business people outside the football house. They give, but what even if he says he wants to give him an improved salary, it's not he can't just give him. Was it the minister that employed appointed Pasero?
Well, Pastor was already appointed before this new minister came.
Yeah, so even the previous minister did not appoint Pasero. It was the
He
football house.
had a say.
Yeah, no,
He had a say.
no.
Sunday Dare had a say. I can tell you that.
He can advise. He can advise. Because he's in charge of sports. Yeah, he can advise, but he
Okay,
did not,
let me, opponent, maybe because we are living in this part of the world, let me tell you what, if a minister advises the NFA to say, this is my advice, that is what the government wants. It's not an advice. It say, take it or you are fired or you'll be in trouble. So when a minister suggests to say, this is what I want, and NFA doesn't take it, that board will be in trouble. So when you say advice, okay, they are not telling you they have an option. This is an option. When they advise you, when the authority in Nigeria advises you, they are telling you there's no option. I'm sure you know that.
yeah, I
Okay.
agree. I know that.
All right.
So what's the work of the technical committee? And what's the work of the football house?
Are you asking me?
So, yeah. So what is their job?
Well, he's the technical director. You know.
Okay. Now,
He's the
just said
technical.
here,
He's the technical director.
just said-
What I understand is the technical director is supposed to be oversee the activities of the national teams. He's supposed to write a report after every championship. He's supposed to be in charge of monitoring players' activities across the world, and he's supposed to have a kind of called comprehensive bio of all the players, and so that they guide the NFF on decision to take about individual players.
You have about the FA, person in charge of FA, who organizes wrong football. Only in Nigeria, you hear about the kidsman also will make have a press conference. The coach, assistant coach, butler, everybody talks to the press. Only in Nigeria that happens. Why is it that way? Why can't we do things?
Because everybody wants to be relevant.
See, we all say our coaches are not good, whether at home or abroad. Indigenous coaches are not good. How good are administrators? Because if our administrators are good, then these things will have been.
I suggested in this program before, when you say coach is not good, you are going for a technical advisor from outside the country, that even the officials too will need also some technical.
Yeah, no, it's not about technical. Well, okay, what program, what structure have our administrators put in place to help football in Nigeria? What have they put in place?
Well, that's too big for me to answer.
From the success we've
too
had
confusing for me to contemplate.
The success we have in football in Nigeria, all our players came from the local league, coached by local players. They were not outside before they brought them in. Tell me which player.
The appointment of Gaba Manu is understandable, and I think I support that in total, because he succeeded. He won the championship in 2013 in United Arab Emirates with Kelechi Iheanacho and all that. It's understandable. Whereby you cannot appoint somebody like Ladan Boso, who was in Canada in 2007. He did succeed. He's a serial failure. You keep appointing him. That's an issue. The problem we are talking about here is not because we have vested interest. It's for the purpose of Nigeria.
There's no vested interest.
We don't have any interest.
Like you say, it's the purpose of Nigeria. But another issue here is everybody wants to coach Super Eagles. Everybody wants to coach Super Eagles. Go and coach somewhere.
Tell that to this 1994 players.
Yes, go and coach somewhere.
All of them want to be
Nigeria.
coached.
Go and coach a club side.
Yeah.
Coach, let people see you.
So for the records, Amunike has been tested, Finidi have been tested in club side. So that's why we're saying they should be given a chance.
Yeah,
Amunike. Yeah. So well, opponent, that's it. We're still waiting. And let's see. Maybe before we come back to the studio again, NFF will be embarrassed to make an appointment. All right. I just want to thank you again. Thank you for coming to the studio. We appreciate your effort. And to the producers behind the camera, thank you. and all our workers. I said catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. X, not Twitter. It's me, yours sincerely, Joe Ezoda, signing off and say have a good night. Bye-bye.